Hebden Bridge, West Yorkshire, and lying below the pinnacle of Studley Pike lives a woman who herself stands above the rest. Rachel Hyde has a rather unusual profession. But how did she get into this line of work?
Yes, so I went down to join Zippo's circus in London, supposedly for 2 weeks work experience, which ended up being 2 years. My mum couldn't believe it. She thought I was absolutely crazy at the time, leaving a secure job doing graphic design, running away to join the circus. So obviously hanging off your arm has its toll on your body. And it got to a point where I was actually wearing the joint out in my shoulder, and I was told not to, I shouldn't do it full on anymore. So I was having cortisone injections in my shoulder. And with the pain of the shoulder, I knew I couldn't carry on doing aerial acts forever. So I got some funding from the Arts Council. One of the girls in the show had done lots of funding applications and had funding for her show. So with the help of her, I applied for some funding for Chicks on Sticks in order to make my first costumes. Yes, that should be fine. Yeah, no problem at all.
Rachel has set up her own business as a stilt walker.
So I use 2 different types of stilts. There's peg stilts and Jura stilts. The Jura stilts have articulated feet, so they're kind of easier for balance in some ways but heavier. These are my Jura stilts, made by Jura. So you see they've got an articulated foot at the bottom and a foot plate at the top here, so they're a lot more sturdy than the peg stilts. You can alter the height of them to go with different costumes. 2 bolts here. Right, so you can sit on something or you can just simply step up onto them. That's one strap. Ooh. I had learnt stilts in an aerial show that we were doing. One of the girls in the show already stilt walks. She showed me how to stilt walk, but I guess with all the aerial experience it came quite naturally. Put the stilts on and I was off. But then from there I started making lots of costumes. So it was a bit of a natural turnaround point where one thing led to another. And I absolutely, love making costumes, making things. And got more and more into it, and so one just progressed to the other really. So I'll go through the design process. I quite often have lots of different ideas, too many ideas to make, narrow it down to something I want to do. Sometimes I'll do a rough sketch, other times I just start making it. I like to be surrounded by lots of things and fabrics and just start putting it together. Obviously every costume's totally different, so I'll have, if I'm making a flowery costume, I'll go out shopping, buy lots and lots of artificial flowers. My mind's constantly looking for things. I have a tailor's dummy that I can put things on which is similar size to me. So it doesn't matter how many costumes I've got, there'll always be somebody asking you for something that you haven't got. So therefore I'm really happy to make a bespoke costume for a certain event. I'm so privileged to have so many amazing costumes, and today I'm really lucky because I'm going to be wearing a massive flamenco dress and be a flamenco dancer. Yeah, I work with lots of other people too. We're all self-employed, so I'll occasionally work for other people, and then other people come and work with me on gigs. But it's great because rather than being work colleagues, they're more like friends. We all get on really well. We have to share nights in hotels, sometimes in the van together. We eat together. I also see them all socially as well. It's not just a work thing.
Ashton Market, Lancashire. Rachel and her colleague Emma emerged from a makeshift dressing room in full costume.
So I guess there's never an average day. Every day's different, every event's different, but saying that, we'll arrive with the van. I usually pack the van the night before. A lot of work goes into the process of checking all the costumes, checking they're all ironed, washed, all the bits are there. Set off with the costumes in the van. I quite often pick up other performers en route. We arrive at the event, usually allow an hour for getting into costume, makeup, and then we go out into the public, meet and greet people, and generally walk around saying hello to children. No, the children are brilliant. Most of them are amazed. And it's great because most of them believe in you as well. They believe that you actually are 9 foot tall. They'll ask you how you've grown so big. I'm just bringing my dragon out. This is Tarragon, the Greek dragon, which is actually dragon in Greek. So yeah, named Tarragon, green dragon. He's going to be going to an event in Haworth.
Halloween. Rachel and Tarragon joined the procession to walk up Haworth High Street for the children's costume judging at the top of the hill.
The last gig we did, this little boy was just like, wow, wow, wow. It was great, his expressions on his face. I had my dragon and he believed the dragon was real. I was like, I've never seen a real dragon before. Really, really believe in you. So I own, I'd probably say over 50 costumes at the moment. I haven't actually counted them. What I'm doing at the moment is getting them all photographed. I've got a professional photographer who's photographing the costumes for me. The older costumes are going to go into retirement. What I do is I tend to recycle bits off older costumes.
Christmas at Cliff Castle, Keighley. Rachel and Emma come as snow queens.
So each year bookings have been increasing. I've been doing more and more different events and making lots more costumes. So every year is busier. So I feel really privileged to have the job that I have. It's really fun working with the people I work with, getting to travel, getting to go to lots of events, see so much of the country, get to go to so many beautiful places. I mean, it's not many people that can wake up and say, oh, today I'm going to be Wonder Woman.